Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
What if we do the clink now?
Oh, fine.
Sorry.
I gotta get something. Wait, I have another mug. It's fine. I can click myself.
Just clink yourself. We could do that.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Ooh. Are we ready? Cody,
I need
ready?
a countdown. I can't get a visual cue. I need a countdown.
Oh, true.
Oh shit!
I can't read your mind.
We're gonna go for like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Wow.
That was
nice.
magic.
that was cute.
I love that.
I hated it. It's so dumb.
Everyone's ears were not happy.
No.
I'm always afraid. Is somebody's ears gonna, like, their eardrum gonna shatter with this clink? Is it too loud?
All I'm imagining
Was this
is
the
someone
clink that
accidentally,
killed
like,
someone?
Shook.
The Clink That Killed Someone, my new Nancy Drew novel.
This year's Santa Claus.
Oh, man.
Oh, Cody, how are you doing?
Hi. I feel weird that you're just talking to me when there are other people that we're ignoring.
Cody, I was trying to do a goddamn bit. Can you just...
Yeah, Cody, come on.
You know what? Screw you, Cody. Hi.
Just ignore me. I'm happy to be here.
I'm going to talk to the people on my couch
You know
instead.
what? Y'all
Screw
can
you,
do
Cody.
your podcast over there. I'll just chill out over here. It's fine.
Yeah, bye, Cody. I'll talk to the people on my couch instead.
Oh my God.
So I have guests with me instead. Hi, welcome to my corner. I have two fantastic people with me. Not Cody, because Cody's cryptid and doesn't exist. I have
Great, cool.
fantastic people with
I'm
me.
having a great time.
Hi, there's random people in my ear talking. I can't hear them. Fantastic people named Rachel and Chris, aka the fantastic people from Coffee with Chrachel. Hi, welcome.
Wow.
Hi.
It's us.
It's us.
How are you doing?
I'm very caffeinated.
Yes.
Which is on brand.
That's true. If
I
you
don't
weren't, I'd be
think
nervous.
there's a time when we're not caffeinated. I think that's
Also true.
our always state.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm so glad that you're here, aka you've let me into your home.
Yes, true. This is technically my couch, but you can have it after this.
Thank you so much for that.
It's like a joint custody on this couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Well,
like
not you,
break it
Cody.
in half, you know?
I
We can ship it out.
figured. It's fine.
Cody, are
I'm not
you
trying to intrude onto the couch.
gonna be in a good mood now and tell me how you're doing?
I'm doing great. I'm having
Great.
a nice cup of tea because I figured it was close enough. So
Yeah.
I mean, same. I'm also having tea, so.
it's also, late.
Are there usually beverages that are enjoyed, or is this just to accommodate the coffee?
You know what?
I mean-
That's a great question. Cody, are you usually drinking when we're potting?
Yeah, usually.
What are you drinking? Bourbon, whiskey?
Right, no,
you know?
it's like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic on this podcast. Thank you for asking. No, yeah, there's usually some sort of beverage.
Yeah, you gotta moisten those vocal cords, am I right? I'm really sorry for everyone
All right,
listening.
well, this has been a great episode. See you guys next week.
That's the title.
That's it.
I promise that'll be the last mention of the M word, if you will.
I feel like sometimes I have water, but sometimes I get scared that I'm gonna accidentally knock it on my microphone, and then Cody's gonna do the thing, and then I'm gonna disappoint them from across the country.
There have been many times when we have spilled coffee all over the place.
I've spilled my heart out, too.
Mid-show.
Oh my god.
That's fair.
You know, I can't tell you how many times I've spilled burning hot coffee all over my lap, and I keep a straight voice, which is hard as a bisexual. But, I still do it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Nevertheless, she persisted.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you both here.
This is so exciting for
Yeah,
us.
I am very excited.
This could not be better timing, especially because of the
Oh my
fact
God.
that this is an important movie
This
for
is
both of you.
my favorite piece of Twilight trash. It is this film, this piece of cinematic history.
So when Cody and I watched this earlier this week, Cody had the pleasure of texting me after we were done with this movie and decided to recap their feelings on this movie by saying, now what did you say, Cody? What were your thoughts on this movie? Not the whole thing, because we'll talk about it later, but what was your one sentence thought about this movie?
Guys. It was 9:01 p.m. like we just had finished, and I said, "What the frick?" That was it.
Absolutely
that
valid.
fits for, not even just this movie, but the entire series.
Yeah.
I feel as
Yeah,
though.
well, yes. And then Allie was like, "Oh, well, this is someone's favorite movie." And I'm like, "Oh, I know. I don't get how, but I know. I'm aware."
Okay, well, out of all of the movies that you've seen thus far, where would you rank this one?
Fuck, I don't know. Because there's a lot to
Unpack.
there's a lot of like layers and like qualifications. There's like a extensive rubric about like
Would
where
you
they
give
all
it-
fall.
Would you give it the superlative for most vivid?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Like, did too much in high school and trying her best, but like, we probably should have just like let her chill out for like a second.
Give her a pottery class, please. Let her calm down.
Cause like, compared to like all the other ones, it was the least visually like terrible on my eyes.
True.
In some aspects, obviously towards the end it got a little buck wild. But like compared to the sheer blueness of Twilight and and New Moon and Eclipse, where they're kind of like getting better in terms of production and money and budget, like you get that, but you're also like, guys, please, you just stop. No, why?
This one was very warm tone, though. I feel like they gave all the vampires a spray tan for this one.
Oh,
Everybody was
absolutely.
tan.
Including Edward.
Yeah,
In the
Bella
island
was
area.
on Isle Esme for 20 seconds, and she already had a full tan. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, there was some serious GTLing going on, that's for sure.
Meanwhile,
Oh my
she's
God.
from Arizona, and she's like, I've never gotten a tan in my life. So I'm sensing a plot twist, and by plot twist, I mean a hole.
Literally. Before we get too deep into it, Cody, because I know that you have a lot of feelings, do you want
Always.
to discuss current events with me?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay, so we only have one current event this week, and it's this ET Online article, and it's one about our Pats, and it's Robert Pattinson says film franchises like Twilight can cause actors to lose their sense of identity.
It's probably true.
Ooh.
Yes, featuring this very solemn face from him.
Okay, we need to talk about this photo of Robert Pattinson because he has the same amount of hair on the top of his head than he does on his like beard area, and it's messing with my brain.
That's a talent.
It's the same
fair.
hair. I don't understand.
That's
you
fair.
could copy paste and flip it would be fine. Like nothing would be different.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, there really was it was a very slow news week.
Yeah.
As far as things go, which is surprising because this Good Time Press tour has been going on for about 2 years now.
It never ends.
It never ends. Yeah. And the
Release
sad
me of
thing-
this sweet hell.
Honestly, please just let me die. And the sad thing is that the title is all that the article is. Like, there's really
Wow.
nothing else to it.
They found a good quote that probably in a much longer interview that they didn't feel like publishing, and they're just like, "That's it. Let's just do that." Right?
Yeah.
Great. Set to print. We're
Love
good.
journalism.
Honestly.
It's great.
He says that too. Like, he says that it will allow them to lose their sense of identity, but he isn't shying away from big franchises. So the article's really null and void.
I mean, I don't feel like he ever lost his sense of identity, though, because the entire time he was behind the scenes, like, shitting on the entire thing, so...
Honestly,
That was his identity.
Yeah, that is
Exactly.
his identity, and I feel as though, he maintains that. Now that he's working on things that probably make him a lot happier, maybe not so much, but through and through, the entire time, he was consistently, I hate this.
yeah.
What is the next saga that he will be a part of? Also, what
boy.
constitutes a saga? Asking the big questions.
Those are fantastic questions.
Saga is like a poorly written trio.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
The saga is going to be
Quad.
that...
It's not
Yeah.
even 3 books. Wow.
Step-
Yeah, it's. I think a saga is post trilogy. Like if it's more than 3
Yeah.
films or 3 things, it's probably a saga or a series or something like that.
So like Lost.
Every
know
TV
what?
show ever.
You're not wrong.
I mean,
Lost definitely felt like a saga, in my opinion.
Yes.
Lost
true.
was a journey, an adventure, an experience.
That we all should share.
Absolutely.
And hopefully forget at some point.
Welcome to our Lost podcast.
Hey.
I don't even know what series I've read lately.
I know. I've
Yeah,
been
no.
very behind on my reading. I'm still trying to finish Cursed Child. Honestly.
Release me from this hell. I have a feeling that he would be the kind of person that would get into another saga, though, just to shit on it.
I think that they're gonna get Stephenie Meyer back. She's gonna finish.
They're gonna get her back from what?
They're gonna finish
The depths of hell.
No, actually, like Stephenie Meyer was gonna be working. She is working on something new, like a TV show or something like that. What if it's Twilight? What if it's Midnight Sun, but in TV show
She
form?
would never give us that gift.
And he's back.
No, her last words before she dies are going to be like, midnight, fuck you. And then just like,
She's taking the Midnight Sun manuscript to her deathbed. She will not let a living soul on this earth
I
read
just
it,
wanted
ever.
to read the Meadow scene from Edward's perspective.
Literally?
Because there's so much going on with him there.
It's all I've ever wanted.
You could fight me off? I just want to know what he's thinking.
I just want to know that when he was standing on that bark, like, was he tempted to eat it? Like, what was he going to do to intimidate her? Like, what was it going to take? That's all I've ever wanted to do. So we did get some listener questions.
Hell yeah.
You all excited, some folks
I'm
on
so
our side.
excited.
So the first question that we got is, which side character did Stephenie Meyer most overlook and make more interesting than the main characters? Was it Alice, Jasper, Esme, Rosalie, Charlie, Emily, Seth, or Leah? And
that's so
how
hard.
much do you want someone else to write a spin-off series for them?
Ooh. With better writing. Interesting.
Wow,
Right.
what a concept.
So basically, anyone who was most overlooked.
Okay.
Well, I think that, and I think you agree on this too, that Leah has a lot of interesting
Yes.
story that, you know, we get a taste of, but like, damn, there's a lot that you could really unpack in that.
I love Leah's character.
And like, you know, with Seth and everything, and
Yeah.
just kind of get more of the whole wolf pack mind thing.
I love the wolf stuff. And like, I know it definitely gets appropriative. So like, maybe if they fixed that in some way, I don't know how they would do it, but hopefully they could do that.
Yeah.
But I love Leah's character. She's like arguably the most complex female character in the book. Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah.
I'll put her up there.
All
And
I
Charlie,
want
of
is
course,
for
yes.
her to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, that's all she needs. It's just like a safe relationship with all of her friends and to be taken care of. That's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
But yes, and Charlie, because like
Charlie's the character that I didn't realize would be my favorite.
I agree. Yeah.
He's just perfect. And the movie Charlie just shines so bright compared to book Charlie, even though book Charlie is still great.
I agree.
I don't know what that actor's name is that plays Charlie, but I don't think like that actor exists. It's actually just Charlie is that person.
We're
and
just not gonna
Personified,
talk about
yeah.
when he dates
they're
Lorelai
pretending
Gilmore.
to not be Charlie when they're not in the movies.
Yeah,
That's my
Billy
theory.
Burke who? Like, it's Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always got a reindeer in his hand, and he's just ready. A Mariner shirt.
He's always, if you
feels like
look close enough, he's in every single diner in the Pacific Northwest, just waiting. Just
If I ever saw him, I'd totally plots. Like, God, I don't even know what I would do. What do you do to that man? You just tell
Admire.
him to admire from afar.
Now, here's an idea of a slash that could happen.
Ooh.
Charlie Swan, Luke Danes.
Oh,
Wow.
they're cut from the same cloth.
Two grumpy men.
Now, also, turn your anger towards Cody, because Cody has never watched Gilmore Girls.
I
So
don't need this
after
in my
this
life.
is done, after you guys are done with Twilight, that's what you're doing next, right? Because
That's what
you have
I
to.
said.
Allie's been dragging this on for weeks now.
I would
in
die if
multiple
you guys did
episodes.
that.
I think it's
Alright.
supposed to be a Patreon special, but
I'm freaking signing up.
okay. The next question that we got is fuck, marry, kill, Alice, Jacob, Jasper.
Alice, Jacob, Jasper. Ooh.
Are we all answering this?
Yeah, Cody, I want
Okay.
your response for this
Yeah, Cody, I
Okay.
want you to go first because I'll judge mine off of yours.
Okay. That's it's a bi energy that it can only
Yes.
be described. Yeah. Well, kill Jacob off the bat, obviously.
First of all,
no,
You're
don't
right.
first of all me. Don't even first of all me. Fuck. Oh, they're both so good. Can this be a polyamorous thing? Fuck. Shit.
I mean,
I approve.
yeah.
Great. I would.
Are we talking book Jasper or movie Jasper?
That is also true.
Let's
I
go
would
with the
probably-
characters here.
I would probably say marry Alice, fuck Jasper.
That's
You know,
freaking
that's
answer.
the way that I would go.
Why are
as
you
well.
such water signs is the
Yes.
problem.
We are drowning.
But if
We are
it was
drowning.
movie Jasper, I would say kill movie Jasper just for that wig.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
gotta go.
Hey,
I could
listen.
handle just fucking Jacob one time marrying Alice.
Wasn't fucking Jasper's wig punishment enough? What does he have to die for?
That's true.
I'm dying.
Why did you do that to him?
Okay, Chris.
Oh yeah, I'm going the exact same way as Cody.
I'm
yeah.
He always
literally
picks
drowning
my
in
answer.
water signs right now.
I thought this out in my head before Cody even said anything.
Wow.
I did.
I can't believe
swear.
we're the same human being.
All right, I'm marrying. Oh fuck. Fuck. Okay.
Just marry Jacob just to really throw a wild card out there.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm gonna.
Talk about like an
I'm-
emotionally manipulative marriage.
I'm gonna fuck Jasper.
Okay.
I'm gonna marry. I'm gonna marry Alice.
Marry Charlie. Yeah.
And I'm
I know
gonna
that's how we all agree.
Kill Jacob. Oh
Yeah, so
God.
the same thing. This is all
Oh,
the same.
God.
Glad we reached a consensus.
Wow.
That
That was
literally
a good
killed
question.
me.
Yeah.
You really got us.
God bless.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Cody,
Yeah.
would you like to talk about Breaking Down Part 1, the movie, with me?
Oh boy, I would love to with you and also our other friends that are here.
So, do we have any initial thoughts before we dive into some of the nitty gritty here?
Well, we've already said that this is my Rosebud. Like,
Yes.
This is the best piece of cinematic film that exists. I'm one of those people that BuzzFeed wrote about that wanted it to be, Oscar worthy, Oscar nominated. It should have been.
Oh
fair.
my god.
The acting, superb, the special
Oscars.
effects. Okay, but for makeup and
No,
special
don't even
effects.
say this. No, not for special effects. Are you kidding me?
Okay, wait, yeah, you're right. There's something that happens towards
Do
the
you,
end.
well, yes, that, but also, do you remember any of the wolf scenes and how terrible they were? Like, because normally, to, like, I guess to an entry point into, like, the visuals and stuff of this is, like, the way that they do, like, the actual CGI wolves and stuff are generally pretty solid. Like, they're really seamless and, they're not super noticeable or whatever.
I already
But,
know
like-
where you're going with this.
But the thing that they did on this little fun flick that they didn't do in the others was the fact that you could hear them all talking to each other, and because of that, it was just a bunch of just nonsense sound design just all over the fucking place, and then also just all of these layers on top of each other and like weird transitions to like going inside and becoming a wolf and like all these it's terrible. It was so bad. I
Yeah.
lost my whole life having to watch those.
I want to know, like, the planning session behind the scenes that are like, all right, you can read this really easily, but how do you do this in a movie? How do you get this out there?
right.
They probably were there for days, like, chugging coffee, panicked, like, how do we think about this? How do we do this?
Right.
And they end up with, like, throwing a whole bunch of audio tracks together.
And it's just,
yeah.
here's the thing about that, though, because I was watching this with someone and they brought this up to me. It's like, if it's like similar to like the Cullens or whatever, and they can all hear each other pretty much in their minds, like it's not like they're talking. They should
Oh,
be
yeah.
crystal
True.
clear. I don't understand why it's all gurgled like coming out of a wolf's mouth,
Well,
but
you
also
see, it's like
So
distance.
bad.
The farther away, it's like a
were
really
all
shitty
next to
cell
each
phone
other.
call.
they were all like on the fucking hill talking to each other. And it was still just like, bro,
I'm Ephraim Black's kid.
What you don't understand, Cody, is that some of them were eating those logs there, and so there was shit in their mouth.
A little bark for your bite.
Oh my
like, hey,
God. Get out
there.
of here.
I'm sorry, I'm bleeding. It was nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, it was so great. It's like they put all the wolves in a fucking garbage disposal. It was like, that's fine. This is fine. Like, I couldn't even imagine watching this in a theater and being, like, just assaulted by, like, audio waves. And
Just picture them all there covered in dots screaming at each other.
Literally.
That's what I
really
wanna see.
fun.
When you're talking about visual effects, though, we should probably bring up some of the makeup and your history
Oh,
with that
yeah.
while we're bringing up past stuff.
So in a past life, I was a YouTuber.
Wow, crazy.
Wow.
Wishy.
And one of my earlier videos, because at this point, when people would watch movies, they would go home and then they would make a makeup tutorial about whatever the most poppin' makeup was in that movie. And I feel like
Sure.
that doesn't happen anymore.
That was like half the thing we had to do is like run home every time after we
It was
watched the
the
movie. Be like,
biggest
we gotta get those. We gotta get
music
that
videos too.
review out there immediately.
And so everyone was doing Bella's makeup for
The
the
wedding.
wedding. Because duh, that's the iconic look for the whole thing. And I wanted to, be
Different.
weird and I guess take a new twist on it. So I did Bella looking really emaciated when she's giving birth. And I did it on my roommate who looked exactly like Kristen Stewart, and I made her gaunt as hell, and it just was something. It was the first video of mine to ever get like a lot of views.
Oh my god.
It's no longer up because of copyright, but... And I just remember the only part of it that is the most vivid to me is when I talk about how Jasper only has like one line in the whole movie, and it's just possibly. Which is my favorite line of the entire series.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I remember this being a huge thing because especially in the next movie, during that certain part, there's that look that she has, and everyone went out after the movie and did that like makeup look that she has. But yeah, that was a huge thing during that time.
And I know that the wedding dress, like they had to keep that a big secret, and she would be like running around on set or whatever wearing different dresses to like throw off the paparazzi and stuff.
Oh yeah, and Kristen was wearing a Volturi cloak around set so that people didn't know what she was wearing.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and
I love the dress too.
Oh yeah, me too. Cody, what did you think of the dress?
Great. Beautiful. So I had my say yes to the dress moment. I was like, yes.
It's Kristen Stewart in a clothing item. So
Well, I mean, hello.
Well, and speaking of visual effects, during that scene, because it was actually the last scene that they filmed of the whole Breaking Dawn and Breaking Dawn Part 2, Kristen Stewart was wearing a brace on her wrist during that thing, so they actually had to refilm it with her wrist on, like, a plaster of like Billy Burke's arm and take her wrist out of the shot.
Oh my god.
Because like, she was wearing like a black wrist brace. So they had to like digitally reshoot all those shots and stuff.
Wow.
I never knew that.
So they can do all that to make that look great, but they can take all the Wolves ones and make that look like shit. So it's like,
Or
I am confusion.
Renesmee's first glance.
Oh, so we just want to dive in
If
there.
we're talking about visuals, we have to address
Yeah.
the poorly animated elephant in the room.
I mean, let's just dive into it.
I feel like I imprinted, but on like...
I saw My Last Life.
Yeah.
Like,
I
just
saw all of my strings going to a better animator.
So it's just literally the worst.
I'm very excited for Cody to see the second movie in regards to Renesmee's visuals.
And the CGI baby.
Oh no.
And the growth. You'll see.
Oh god. But yeah, it's literally the worst. I remember when we were reading it, because Cody usually, like, spoiler alert for everybody, but Cody usually waits until like an hour before we record to read.
I like it fresh. Okay.
And so the chapters of when Jacob imprints were like super fresh. And so I knew when we were going to get to this scene that it was going to be like a lot to handle. So Cody, I'm actually curious how you felt watching Jacob fall to his knees
Oh my God.
when this happened.
Fucking the worst thing I've ever experienced in my human life on this planet. And like, even, I mean, this is kind of a bit of a pivot, but going into it, like, it's very... that scene is very different from how it is in the book, and it was also very fresh, because I was going at it like, oh cool, Jacob's gonna go on like this murderous rampage and try to kill like all the Cullens and like all these things, and he comes in and it's just like, no, all these different things are happening, there's this fight happening, there's so many other things.
Yeah,
and then,
there's so many added fight scenes in this movie too.
so many, they just want to get those rowdy boys fighting, and I get it. Like, I get it. But it was just so fucking ridiculous. And then the eye contact, I was like, no, I knew it was happening, and I was like, please, can I just skip all of this? I know it's coming, and I hate it. I hate it.
Well, and that's actually one part that, did you all watch the standard movie or the extended edition?
There's an extended edition?
Okay, so this is the thing.
God.
So, in the extended edition, and Cody, I don't think you watched the extended edition either, did you?
No, probably
okay,
not.
So in the extended edition, right after Jacob imprints and Bella dies,
She go.
Yeah, there she goes.
well, Edward comes downstairs and is like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna come down, it's gonna be this huge fight, but he hears that Jacob has imprinted, right? And he breaks Jacob's arm, throws him against the living room wall, and is like, fuck this guy, I hate all of this, and
That
then
certainly
goes
doesn't
into the
happen in
fight.
book, right?
No.
Okay. I was like, how did I miss that?
No.
But it's like the only redeeming part of Edward throughout this whole movie, and they cut it out.
But then, like, he goes outside, and then
He's just like, Jacob imprinted.
Yeah, like, he has that, like, realization again. Once Jacob comes outside, it seems like he's hearing his thoughts for the first time again.
Yeah.
So,
I guess that's why they cut it out.
maybe.
Yeah.
That would have been funny if it was kept in both times. Like, all the time.
Right.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
It's weird for me because I'm like, Jacob's literally coming in the house and it's like, is he trying to kill Rosalie or is he just trying to kill this baby? Because that's dark, Jacob. It's a little dark.
Sir?
Well, that's one of my favorite parts of the book, though, is when Edward is like, hold this baby, and he's like, throw it out the window. Like, I don't care about this kid.
I love Alice being like, the fetus. Alice is me the whole time. I'm just very worried and upset and just nervous.
It's just, oh my gosh, the amount of times that she says the fetus and just
Yeah.
like couldn't give a shit during Breaking Down Part 1 is it's
And
so wild.
Just to tailgate off that, is that the right way? to talk about that? I love
Wow, I love
sports.
Let's
barbecuing.
get nachos and football up in this
Crack it
business.
open some cold ones. Let's go.
But I'm sad that they didn't keep in the parts where Jacob and Alice like hang out together during the pregnancy escapades because they both need a break from all of the stuff, and she loves to like be around Jacob because he just blacks out her mind essentially.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping
Jacob
to get
Black.
some. I was hoping to get some of that because it was like a cute bonding experience that we missed out on.
That was another one of the scenes that they cut and left in for the extended edition.
I need to watch this extended edition.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
a fake fan now.
Because that's
This is
one-
your favorite.
I know.
Yeah, it's them out on the balcony where Alice is like, I'm so glad I get to take a break with year over year out. And he's like, I mean, whatever I can do to help, right?
Oh, okay.
I hate this family. I can't believe I'm here.
You
And, like,
smell.
yeah.
Not enough talk of the odors that are being passed around, in my opinion.
Right?
That's
I
like a
agree.
main plot point. That's so sad.
Yeah,
Main
that's like
plot
one of-
points are like,
Really
can
gets
we have
lost.
sex and you guys all smell? Like, that's it.
No, also by this point, I'd say that the glistening has really been toned down to it's not
Oh,
happening. Now everybody's just
absolutely.
tan.
Yeah, why didn't he glisten in Cabo? I'll admit.
Yeah,
Call it
it's
Cabo.
definitely a director's choice.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And okay, so speaking of like extended cut scenes, so there's a couple other ones that happen. So we don't get the Jacob throwing the bowl back at Rosalie. That
I wanted
happens
that.
in the
Yeah.
extended edition. So the movie actually begins in the extended edition with the Volturi receiving the wedding invitation. And it happens, like, they do an extended tracking over a ton of dead bodies, and then it cuts into Jacob being a piss baby and being like, "Rah."
I know, like 3 seconds in, his shirt's
Yeah.
off.
He's like,
Yeah.
fuck, I have feelings. Can I just...
I mean, there's no other way to start a movie than
I've
Taylor
never
Lautner
seen
shirtless.
someone
you know?
so angrily throw a piece of paper in my life.
Literally. And, like, onto the wet ground, and it's like, do you know how much money they paid for this? All I can imagine is Edward being like, man.
Or Esme, who
Come
designed
on.
them all.
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely Esme
Yeah.
and Alice did that, you know?
Yeah, the only other one is before Gustavo and Kaure arrive, Edward's making breakfast, and Bella's like, well, we don't actually have to leave so soon. We could just stay a little bit longer. And Edward's like, that's weird. What's happening? And he's like, was it just sex this whole time? Was that all it took? And she's like, and then just keeps eating her eggs. And that's it.
Strange.
Yeah.
We missed so much of Bella's pregnancy eggs stuff, which was very
so much
disheartening.
eggs.
Yeah.
Because
You
the
just
book
got that
was
bloody
full of
chicken.
eggs.
Just, oh God. And the chicken scene, it gets me every time. I get
Yep.
so grossed out about it.
Reading that was so vivid, and then they kept it in, and I'm just like, Bella, you gotta wait at least another 10 minutes on that, you know?
Yeah.
This is not steak.
It is a mood, though, that she's having a snack while cooking food, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I love, did you catch that she keeps her peanut butter in the fridge?
Interesting
Yes.
choice.
Yeah.
Chilled peanut butter. A delicacy to only Bella's one.
She's quirky.
The only thing I could think of is the fact that they're in Brazil, and so maybe it's like a bug issue,
True.
but also she's weird.
It's
so.
just,
Yes.
she could have tripped over it too, you know? No significantly less falling in this besides the iconic fall.
She literally
The fall of
runs.
Tim.
She runs to the bathroom, and it's like, Bitch, you could have died
Also,
earlier.
that bathroom was so far away for what was happening.
Agreed. Yeah, there's the fall, and then like,
Yeah, but like, I mean, it's a pretty good one. Probably her last fall, considering we know what's going to happen to her.
Yeah.
A little bit more graceful.
It is the
now.
last fall. We've been talking a lot about director decisions, and I did want to bring up something that Cody and I made some comments on here about. So both of these movies are directed by Bill Condon, because he did both Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2. But I made a note here that there were a couple of possible directors that could have done Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Part 2.
Oh.
I had a feeling that both of you would have some thoughts on this, because the two other possible ones were, one, Gus Van Sant, who's known for doing My Own Private Idaho and Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Not super well known. And then the other that I know you'd have some thoughts about is Sofia Coppola.
How did I, like,
Whoa.
I was thinking, like, I wonder if it's going to be Sophia, and, like,
What
it was.
a weird twist that would have been.
Could you fucking imagine? Like, what the... I would have been, like,
What
all
would she have
pastel
done?
pink. It would have been,
What
like...
would she have done is my question.
I want that
Suddenly,
movie.
Kristen Stewart is Kirsten Dunst, like
First of all, yes.
Because the thing is that all of this cast, they were only contracted for 4 movies.
Right.
So when they split it after Harry Potter did this, all the cast was like, what happens to our contracts? So
they recast the entire final movie.
for the final movie, yeah, she becomes a vampire, and it's like, well, new actress, I guess. But like, what would Sophie have done? Is my question for
There
you.
would have been a lot of different musical cues. Because I would say that this movie is my favorite soundtrack wise.
And I have a lot of feelings about the music that I want to talk about.
It's so
Yeah.
good. Like, they did such a killer job on that, and I'll give them that. But I feel like if it was Sofia Coppola, it would be like some out there stuff, and it would just be a little bit more quirky. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine, like, if they did the scenes where, like, they're talking about when the vampires were, like, living their truth and, like, before they were vampires, like, in the past, and, like, Sofia Coppola was doing that? It's like, everyone's got a sick powdered wig, everyone looks fucking fresh to death, like, it's great. It wouldn't be, like, sepia all over everything and look terrible.
Also, what a weird timing still for that scene to happen. You know,
So
It's like,
bad.
we're gonna get married in 12 hours, but I just want to let you know I am a Dexter in the past.
Literally.
So random.
Yeah, I still cannot get over the fact that he dropped that. It's such a typical Edward thing. Like, Gemini's the worst, literally.
He just really wants to talk her out of it because he doesn't feel deserving, but like he isn't deserving.
No,
True.
no.
That's the vibe.
Yeah, I had so many questions over the fact. I mean, we're talking about music, so we might as well talk about it now.
Yes.
Did you have any certain bops that you loved?
Everything that happened during the wedding,
Oh, yes.
fantastic.
All
Absolutely.
3 songs by the same artist in different interludes.
Yes.
Different-
Yeah.
And then the song that they play, I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head, but when she's in the bath and they show her CGI body, like when she's pregnant, and like it says like lion and lamb literally in the lyrics, and I'm like, Stephanie Meyer was so soaked getting that song for the soundtrack. Like,
Wait, is there a Muse song in the soundtrack?
There is not a Muse song in
Wow.
this soundtrack. It's the
Sacrilege.
first time.
Sacrilege.
wow.
Is it even a Twilight series movie if it doesn't have a
No.
Muse song in the soundtrack?
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
damn right.
It's not canon. It's not actually a real Twilight film.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I am saying.
And the entire wedding scene is just like, I was glad that the visuals for it were pretty on point with what I imagined reading it. Like, it was beautiful. I'm sure they spent a lot of time on that because that's like the big moment for the shippers, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that they were really jazzed about it. And like, I loved a lot of the choices. My favorite choice in that scene, however, is the uncomfortable lingering on Stephanie Meyer in the audience.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because I don't know if, Cody, you noticed. I mean, I'm sure you noticed the fact that Stephanie Meyer was there. But the people sitting next to her are the producers that are there. So
The most extra bitch.
The guy sitting next to her is one of the producers, Wick Godfrey.
Okay.
And it's just like, first of all, fuck off. Like, why do you have to do this? But yeah, so
It's just like, to have seen any other author do that in a movie. I know John Green did that once, but it was like a deleted scene. So.
Well, I mean, Stan Lee is literally in like every
Well,
movie
yeah.
ever created, so and he like did the comics, so
I don't know, man. That was a man-spreading answer for me.
his always seem so...
They're always so like, this is Stan Lee and we're just throwing him in here. Stephenie Meyer is like trying to fit into the crowd.
Yeah.
Stephenie Meyer lovingly looking at what she perceives to be her younger self walking down the aisle.
Yeah, Stan Lees are always so like irreverent and stuff. Like he's not taking himself seriously. Whereas in that moment, Stephenie was literally like, "This is me. Go forth. You make all this money for me." Like, it was just like,
they should have had her play the housekeeper on Isle Esme.
Oh my
God.
Literally.
Because then she could have like watched them like have sex, because that's what she wanted. Like, it's absolutely what she wanted.
And she could have like held Kristen Stewart's stomach and been like, "You're gonna die."
Yeah.
In 7 days.
You know that Stephenie Meyer was definitely really like hugging that doll that they used for Bella's body in that movie.
Oh my
Like there's probably like many photos of her with that doll that have not been shown to like.
You could see in that wedding scene like Stephenie disassociating in real time, just watching Bella walk down the aisle. It was beautiful and majestic and everything I ever could have wanted.
I hope that if she's in any other future movies for her other future books or this TV show, she has to like pop up and just give that lovingly look, because is it really cinematic experience without that?
Agreed.
It's not.
There were a couple of songs that I wanted to note. They're usually with all of the Twilight Saga soundtracks, the cast members include songs on there.
Right.
And so this one includes one of those. Maya Maestro, the actress who plays Carmen, included a song on here. It's a song called Llovera. It's the one where they're swimming at Isle Esme in the moonlight, which is like that soft little like interstitial song, which is nice. But I wanted to talk about the singles on this one particularly, because it has that freaking Bruno Mars song,
Yes.
It Will Rain.
Now, I remember when it was coming out, and like I feel like they released like the list of the songs or something beforehand, and we were like, "What the fuck, Bruno Mars? Like, what is this doing on here?" And then the entire movie, we were like, "Where the hell are they gonna stuff this in?"
Yeah.
And then it's like halfway through the credits, they throw it in. And we're like, "Oh."
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to get you guys taken off the copyright.
Yeah, it was like an exclusive song.
The
for this
ultimate
one, too.
not Twilight vibe.
Literally.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the 1,000 Years by Christina Perry.
Now that one, like, I'll still listen to, like, outside of this,
Yeah.
It just needed to happen.
Yeah. That one is iconic on there, of course.
There's just so many good songs, like, throughout the whole series. That's the one thing that they really nailed, I gotta say.
That's the one thing that I feel like even the people who hate the Twilight Saga can't
People were
diss
pissed.
on.
They're like, I hate this franchise, but the music, Like,
People shamefully playing, the soundtrack on their phone, trying to hide the cover image that shows up.
that's, I don't hide it.
Pulling up a Spotify private session. Nobody must know.
Everyone to see Edward's
must
like
know.
lip stain, right on my iPhone. Because he was totally wearing like pixie lip tint this entire.
Oh, and it was
movie.
beautiful.
It was mauve.
It really worked for him.
Wonder.
Yeah, he definitely had a look going on.
Yeah.
There were a couple of iconic scenes that we should probably touch on. What other notes did you have?
Okay, well, I do have one note here that I feel like is really important to talk about. And all it says in my terrible handwriting is rock hard flaccid.
Tell me everything, please.
So
Please unpack this.
I just want to know, as we all know, how this pregnancy could have been conceived.
For
I know
a
we've
few different, like, aspects of it.
One, blood flow. Where is that within Edward? 2, living sperm.
Where is that within Edward?
Like, I know that, like, some people that have a vasectomy still end up having sperm. So it's like, is it kind of one of those situations?
But he has no body heat. He's cold. He is...
I want you to know, Cody, just for a visual, that both Chris and Rachel have red string and index cards on their wall right now, drawing
Yeah,
this
no,
image
I
up.
believe it.
I am
believe
that
it.
one thing from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. Pepe Sylvia is the baby.
And then, okay, also, there's some plot holes with, like, the womb being, like, so super strong, and yet, like, Rosalie uses a scalpel and, like, seems to cut through, and I'm like, what's going on?
I don't think that
there?
happens in the book.
Well, it's
I
a
feel...
good thing we're talking about the movie.
I know. I'm just saying
Fucking
that.
get roasted, man. Oh, shit.
All right. Well,
Oh,
this has been
shit.
fun, so I gotta go now.
Backing it up. But I just want to know, and like, okay, if we're talking about the most important scene of the movie. It's Edward using his teeth to rip out a baby. So let's unpack that. How do you think it tasted? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. And discuss.
Well, I think that we need to talk about the warm water at Isle Esme.
Yes.
There, because that's supposed to be the logic of this, right?
So they conceived in the water?
No. God,
It just warmed him up enough, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
he thawed and then they...
yeah.
It was a really quick
Which
window. It's like,
also-
I'm gonna be warm for 2 minutes. We gotta get the show on the road. Let's go.
Yeah, which also we need to talk about her pre-dick anxiety attack, because...
It's
Oh,
the biggest
yeah.
mood
Yeah.
to ever have mooded.
I called it the most straight scene in cinematic history. Was her
Yeah.
shaving her entire body to prep.
Every inch of her body.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Ashley, my good friend, who is also a very big fan of this podcast, was watching the movie with us, and she wanted to make a note that Kristen only washes her arms when she starts rinsing off, and what's that about?
She
What do
just
those
throws
arms do?
some water on the arm.
Yeah,
That's
what
it.
else-
Those arms
right?
do, you know?
Yeah, I think
Because-
that had something to do with the conceiving, science.
It's
And, like,
just more
in
of
the-
that string.
Oh my god.
I got a blast.
But like in the book, she has like a panic attack in the shower. She's like in there for like 30 minutes, like thinking about everything,
I
and
just
which is
picture
such
Edward
a
out in the
mood,
water.
which we like miss in the movie. But also the fact that her way to replace that is just like, let me just get my arms wet, and that's fine. I'm good to go. Let's go.
That's my idea of a depression shower, to be honest.
Literally, she just rubbed deodorant like all over. It's like, this is fine. It's good. Some dry shampoo.
fine.
We're good.
She just takes
I'm
like
great.
a wet wipe, and it's just like, eh.
That'll
And
do.
also, like, it's upsetting because when you're seeing the movie, you're not getting the part where Stephanie Meyer uses the word moon 18 times in that scene where they're in the water. That's true. And I feel like we needed almost like a voiceover from her.
It's like, hey
I'm
guys, do you
surprised
get
they
it?
haven't done that for some part of the
She
movie.
fucking becomes like the Teletubbies moon.
Oh my god. Photoshop wizards, please. I need
Yes.
this more than anything.
No, because then I could never look up at the beautiful wife that is the moon ever
Don't
again.
Yeah,
No.
shit. It's fine.
Let's not ruin her.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, is that like Edward warms himself up and like defrosts in the warm sea, and that's how the sex happens. I mean, didn't they teach you that? When, in 4th grade when y'all split up into different rooms, isn't that what they taught you? Is
We all took
All-
sex ed.
you
All
know.
I knew was that I was supposed to wear deodorant, and I thought that was kind of rude. They were like trying to say something. Also, a jarring plot hole to me when you're watching it is, so obviously we see Jacob imprint later after the baby has already come out.
Yeah.
But there's a vivid scene in the movie where you're looking at him and he's seeing the baby before
Right.
that scene.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I feel like they
Yeah.
could have done a
And it's
better
not
job.
it's not a passing glance. It's like a full on.
He
I'm
looked.
watching.
Yeah.
Like
Not sure what that's about. Delayed imprint. It's kind of on record as something that doesn't normally happen.
Agreed.
But also the whole act of imprinting is something wild that we'll never understand.
Agreed.
That scene where you see, is it Emmett or Quill with the little kid at the beach? It's very upsetting.
Quill.
It's Quill.
Quill.
Quill and Claire.
Did I just say Emmett?
Yeah, you said Emmett. I was letting you
What
go
a
with it.
Emmett! Oh, wow. I'm losing it. I'm losing it, guys. That's just like, it's just so disturbing. Like,
Yeah.
how did, I know that they were all about like making sure that Bella's bruises were very toned down for the film, because I know that they were getting a lot of flack about like how they were going to address the bruise situation, but they should have addressed that also, because that was not fun to watch.
I mean, the whole theme is that there's a lot of questionable themes going on here in
Yeah.
the entire, series.
Well, and they CGI'd the hell out of her.
yes.
So, I mean, effectively every single day, she was more and more CGI'd until she became that doll
CGI?
Yeah.
for the birthing scene, which we should probably talk about. That scene, and I made a note here too, because when I was doing my research, when folks were seeing it in the movie theater, it actually got some flack because the flashing lights that they included were
Yeah.
causing epileptic seizures for some folks as
Wow.
well.
And they didn't have a warning, did they?
They did not. No.
Damn. And also, there's one moment where the cinematography has been pretty great so far throughout the movie, but then at one point, like, you're just seeing Bella, like, looking pained, and there's, like, a zoom in on her face. Like, you're far away, and
It's
it
like
just
Parks and
zooms.
Recreation
It's
style.
painful. That was so bad.
And I'm like, who thought? And it's like accented by like a violin, and it's just very vivid.
And the camera's kind of shaking a little bit to, add to the fervor of it all. So.
And my favorite line, I know I said it was Jasper being like, possibly, but my actual favorite line is when Edward is pounding on Bella's chest and he goes, come on! That bleeding goat is Twilight the Saga.
Oh, man.
And that's all you need.
Was he in khakis in that scene? Was he wearing khakis at all in this movie?
And khakis.
What a mood.
Oof. But no, it's very violent. Like, let's not skirt around it.
Yeah.
And when I was reading it, I was like, how the heck are they going to do this? And they did it. And honestly, it's very true to the book, which is very wild that they left it all in.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, like, the whole entire pregnancy, like, they did good on the visuals, like, of making her look like she's fucking dying, because she looked like she was dead. Yeah. So...
The makeup team was killer on Bella, for sure.
How did you guys all feel about the, like, cell regenerating with the venom going through her veins, that visual?
The bane of my existence.
Okay.
Too much blood.
I like when her ribs pop back up. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie.
Yeah, like, it's like they fucking inflated her like a mattress, like,
Everyone in the theater,
instantaneously.
like, laughed when that happened.
It's like that, oh my god.
And I do like her hair, though, coming to life.
It had taken itself so seriously that it's like, let's just push a button and she's a full breathing human again. It's good.
Honestly, I wish every time I woke up, like I went to sleep and I woke up, my makeup was just done like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Becoming a vampire means lash extensions.
Oh, real.
What
real.
a mood. That's all I could wish for is like, I'm gonna go to sleep with a sheet mask on and my face cleansed and my serum's done, everything, and I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna have lashes on and I'm gonna be great. That's all I've ever wanted.
Good
It's just
to
an
go.
unrealistic image for me, you know?
Yeah.
Just
I guess
another
that's what it
unrealistic expectation for women, am I right? Am I right?
And if we're talking about iconic scenes, I mean, how about Bella, like, holding her stomach in the mirror? And I just remember that vividly from the trailer for the movie. And it's just so ridiculous because there's literally nothing there.
No.
Like, nothing.
No.
I'm like, that's me after one burrito. Not even. It's me after a cup of water.
Also, that Tampax sponsorship there.
Oh my god!
Is this movie sponsored by Tampax and Pepto-Bismol? Discuss.
Hey.
I hope so, because if not, that was a free plug for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other point where you see, like, blatant advertising or, like, a logo, a name, or anything besides that tampon package. So.
And the Volvo cars that they
Yes.
have. That's
Oh, yeah.
At least that's written into the text.
Right.
Which is so...
It's in the Holy Gospel, so, like, it's there.
It's true.
Do you think Stephanie Meyer drives a Volvo?
Yes.
Yes. A silver Volvo? Yes. And she keeps the air really cold in there, so it's like he's there.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you. She would
Her
never use a
kinks
seat
are
warmer.
so specific. It fucks me up sometimes.
And so
Mushroom ravioli.
multifaceted.
Mushroom ravioli. That's honestly one of my favorite, like, quotes from the whole series. I know I've said that 18 times.
If there's one thing we know about Stephanie Meyer is that she's a woman of many kinks, and that's great.
It fucks me up. When we're talking about images, though, okay, we do need to talk about the blood thing real quick. And I can't believe I just said that because I don't like to talk about blood. But the first time that she drinks the blood out of the sippy cup, because, like, I know that they needed to keep it on her teeth, but, like, at what cost? When Jacob, like, scooches to the end of the couch was me that whole time, every single time I watch it.
I mean, I gotta say that they made the blood actually look kind of like blood, you know. I'd say it was kind of realistic, like it was dark enough, and
Especially in that moment.
Yeah, but I gotta say that my stomach, it was not agreeing with that.
10 out of 10 on the fake blood. 10 out of 10 on the line delivery of, it tastes good. So much.
Oh god, and the sound when Edward is pouring it into the cup afterwards, I literally was like, got a blast. I can't do this. This is way too much.
I just want to see the fridge where they keep all the own egg, you know?
Oh my god.
I never want to see that fridge.
I just feel like that's got to be... Where is that fridge, you know? In that beautiful home that I want to live in.
Carlisle, what do you do?
Also, not enough Carlisle. I feel like he takes care of the entire show in the book, but he's not really around as much in the movie.
I agree. There's never enough Carlisle.
That's true.
Unless he's just been like, he was just consoling Charlie this entire time.
Hey.
I mean, in all seriousness, we should absolutely have a Carlisle prequel where he's like, you know,
Yes.
finding all the rest of them and turning them, stuff like that. Like,
Their life way before this.
that's everything that I need.
That would actually be really compelling.
I
I
need
Twilight
more
trash.
of that. I need more of Charlie. I'm set.
I want
you
like
know?
a cop show about Charlie.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes.
Like a Netflix
A supernatural
special.
cop show.
Would it have to be supernatural? I just
Well,
want
I mean, he
day-to-day.
lives in the universe.
Like a
where it's
Brooklyn
super-
Nine-Nine.
Yeah, like he's eating a grilled cheese. Like, there's nothing supernatural about that.
Yes.
But it's a spooky grilled cheese.
The grilled cheese has actually been alive for 125 years.
Whoa.
A while. Okay, I'm
He
sorry.
imprints on the grilled cheese.
No, that's not Mount Rainier. He doesn't imprint on an actual mountain. But the
And he
beard-
fucks the mountain because that's Stephanie Meyer's kink.
Oh my god.
Yo, she probably. Yeah. I feel like that happened.
I'm really sorry, Allie, but I want to go back to blood for like a second. Because
Please do.
Cody.
as someone who sells fake blood for a living, like
You've got some thoughts.
I got some thoughts. And it looked really like good, and it was, you know, dark, which is what it needs to look like if it's exposed to air and it's
That was
oxidized.
some damn good blood, you know?
That's some damn good blood. However, what was the fucking point of the straw if they just wanted to show it on her teeth? Like, the whole reason people drink the straws is so they don't get shit on their teeth. They put it behind their teeth and just get it on down in there. She could have just drank it from a fucking cup or something and gotten the same effect. It was like, no, I'm gonna deliberately do a straw and just fuck it up and just do it wrong.
It's very
Get
classic
blood all
clumsy
over my
Bella.
teeth. Well,
It's
that's
true.
true.
To not know
That's
how to
true.
use a straw.
She's like, shit, I don't. Is this right? Fuck, I don't.
Bella, why?
Okay, something that I just saw in my notes that I feel like is an important plot hole is that
We're just here for the holes.
Okay,
Oh my
I'm here
God.
for the holes. That's actually my new podcast. So
It's
Alice,
such a Pennsylvania.
it really is like cornhole. That's what that vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking of the not Pennsatucky, the fucking
Punxsutawney.
He does come out of a hole and he tells us the letter.
Listen, I don't want to get angry. Let's not talk about that,
That's a
man.
touchy subject. So Alice can't hear the fetus, as we all know. It's a baby. Say baby. So I want to know, because I usually, when I think about like Alice and Edward's superpowers, essentially, they're all mind things. So that's why as things progress, you know, they're linked. Like that kind of like power where you're using your brain or whatever is linked. So I want to know, if Alice can't see the baby, why can Edward hear it through the embryonic? I've never been pregnant. I don't know. That's sack.
Why is it when you ask that question, I heard the SVU sound in my head?
And he can't hear it the whole time until like right on the cusp.
It's a great question.
That is a great question. Can we get like a real life doctor on this podcast at some point? Like myth bust all of these like.
I mean, I think we could just Yahoo the answer like they did in the movie.
Oh, they Google. They don't Yahoo.
No, they Yahoo.
Yeah,
They did. They used Yahoo.
They used Yahoo. Yeah.
It was fucked up.
That
Also, probably
shakes
sponsored
me.
by Yahoo.
True. I just love that they all use the internet just like us. Vampires. They're just like
Just like us.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the only thing that I could think of was just the fact that they didn't know whether she was gonna live or die, and that's why Alice couldn't see.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. And plus, Bella ends up dying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's loose. But so is getting pregnant in the first place.
Also a loose
Plot.
situation.
A lot of the plots were loose. I also have in my notes, sadly looking at Bella's ass, which is
So many questions. I have more holes compounded on that.
when Bella goes to bed wearing the like blue nighty outfit, which like just
Oh, yeah.
really reinforced the bisexuality vibes of the whole movie. And then Edward's just like staring at her ass, like sadly, like I can't do anything about this, and then he covers it up very half-heartedly.
Cody, that's when you tweeted, Edward, stop kink shaming your wife.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that sounds about right. That checks out.
I just feel like his inner turmoil is just something that we all really can identify with.
Yeah.
See, this is why we need the entire series from his perspective, so we can know what he's thinking in that moment.
And I know that he was like pretending to snore in that moment, but it definitely sounded like he was growling.
Also, how does he sleep?
Well, he doesn't.
Well, why would he snore?
Well, he was fake snoring.
But why?
But why?
I mean, that's honestly a fair question, but he was just.
Who are you trying to fool?
He didn't want to have the sex.
Honestly,
you know,
he
when
would
you
have
don't-
fooled Bella with that probably.
That's fucking
He'd been
true.
like, holy shit, now he's sleeping. This place is wild.
a new development. Isle Esme's got some tricks.
Wow.
Also, Isle Esme, like, they could have put, like, something else out there. Just that one puny little house. And that door. A whole movie about the way that door opens in the front of
The
house.
architecture in that house.
I mean, I just need, like, full tours of both homes, the
Yeah.
regular home and Isle Esme.
Well,
Like,
they do have it on
Well,
Extreme Homes. They
I
have the
know.
actual Twilight house, and it's the greatest piece of HGTV cinematic television.
Can we do it in the style of MTV Cribs? Discuss.
Oh, here's my blood fridge. Here's Bella's hospital.
No!
here's the broken headboard.
That's on Isle Esme. Also, that headboard rip.
Oh, R.I.P.
You could see Gustavo and Kaori being like, I do not get paid enough for this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
no,
that
no.
they added that little scene.
Yeah,
They
that
needed
was-
more screen time, those two.
They needed to show Robert Pattinson furiously biting a pillow.
Yes!
Yeah, really.
Very much important to the,
Agreed.
the movie and the
It wouldn't have been the
context.
same.
Agreed.
Then maybe it would have been Oscar worthy.
True.
It's one flaw. It's only flaw.
It's all my fault.
I mean, he should have gotten an Oscar for, constantly acting like he's in pain.
I mean, you're right. Do you have any other final thoughts?
EJ.
Talk about names. How could
Never
we forget?
forget
Okay.
The most
a lot
important
of people
topic.
drag Renesmee, which is very bad. But EJ as a
EJ's
choice,
terrible.
Renesmee makes sense because, okay, the two moms, even though Renee is pretty much just, garbage compared to everybody else because they don't ever talk about her. Like, I feel like Bella does not give a shit about her own mother. But
No.
EJ, the last two dudes I've kissed, listen to my kid. Like, what would Edward feel? And you know he'd feel a lot. He always feels.
He's full of feeling.
EJ.
I mean, this is just literally this happens in like Harry Potter too, when JK's like, let's throw every important character's name into all these kids. But this
Albus
is
Severus, fucking every
Exactly.
fucking name,
It
fucking
should've been Harley.
forever.
like she's just trying to stuff like every name possible into this child's name. Why does nobody come up with like an original name or something like that?
But if it was an original name, it would be some weird Stephanie
well,
Meyer stuff. It would be Stephanie.
she could have actually.
Bella gave birth to the woman herself.
She should have like given a nice tribute to Carlisle.
I know, it should have been Carly, like Charlie and Carlisle, because no offense to Esme, she's wasn't as involved in the birth. And I don't know, I feel like Charlie's been there instead of Renee, but
Yeah, absolutely.
who am I?
Well, I mean, Renesmee's middle name is Carly.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So that should have just been her
I
first
am
name.
a fake fan.
But
They
I
don't
mean-
say it in the movie, and I'm just on the movie right now.
But I mean, I think that EJ is a shitty name.
It's a terrible-
in
It's
general.
not even a name, it's letters.
No.
I mean,
Like, it's not like it's
fucking right.
AJ. It's like, let's just make it quirky and fun and
First of
different.
all, my initials are AJ, so step
No,
out
I
of
know,
here.
and AJ is a name. Is what I'm saying.
AJ,
Like, people are
DJ,
named AJ. People are named
TJ.
AJ. People are named EJ.
They
Yeah.
should have named it like Moon. Moon Swan. Oh wait, no, I guess Cullen. Duh, wow. Well, they could have kept her last name, that would have been cool.
Wow, so
Wait.
feminist.
I just had a thought. Did they say Breaking Dawn
No, in the movie.
in the movie?
Did they?
I don't think so.
Wow.
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 It's really not real.
Actually, like, no muse, no mention of the title.
Wow.
They did play with the chess pieces, though, from the book cover.
So much
Oh,
chess.
there was so much chess.
That's all they did on this trip was fuck and play chess.
Like, sexual tension
but also
chess.
making
that's not
chess
how you
look
play
like
chess.
sex. Like, it was, there was no middle ground.
She was like, checkmate into this puss. And I did not like it.
And then she shoved the queen up into her vagina. It was disgusting. It was really
I
vulgar.
love goop.
It was, oh my god! It was a rose quartz chess piece that she just jammed on in there. Yeah.
Yeah, this movie was also sponsored by Adam and Eve, apparently. So.
Wow, you can use my code.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was great.
Oh my
Good
god.
job. Well, do we have any final thoughts?
Sam's supposed to be 21.
Sam was an adult man.
Yes.
He's like 45 in this movie.
He had a mortgage, like.
Yes.
I just had to say that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like it's very important to remember how old the wolves are. It really.
They
really,
just don't. They
Yeah.
don't age, though. Is the thing.
Also, I gotta say that, like,
Sam does. That's the one that ages.
I really enjoyed in the books reading from Jacob's perspective because of, like, that it was, like, different and weird, and it was interesting hearing the, like, pack mind and all that stuff. And so they tried to kind of, like, give us a little bit. It was only really when he was like, fuck this, I'm making my own pack. Like, that was really it.
Yeah, they don't give you a lot of that vibe.
Yeah, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I understand, but I was still sad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
You
agree.
know, I had to air my grievances, okay?
That's fair. That's fair. This is a safe
And
space.
I guess because I feel like I can't be a guest on the show without saying fuck Mike Newton.
Honestly, thank you.
But him doing like some weird floppy fish dance move at the wedding is a vibe.
It was so good.
Oh my god. The toasts. The wedding
Every
toasts.
wedding speech, perfect.
It was
Beautiful.
flawless. Especially Jess's.
Yes.
It was great. Yeah.
And that's all she wrote, folks.
That's it.
Cody, final thoughts?
Yeah, two things real quick. One, which we kind of touched on a little bit, is that we lost all of Leah in this film and all of her
Agreed.
justifications and motives, and it was great. And then also, which I think we've talked about in other films, I'm not exactly sure, but Rosalie's wig was garbage.
Yes.
Which is so sad because she's supposed to look like hot shit and she's very attractive and she's beautiful. But she's supposed to be like that bitch and she just gets fucking lost in this lace front that makes her look like she's got a receding hairline. It's bad.
It sounds.
Especially in like the scenes where she's holding Renesmee.
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
the worst.
It's just
It's
like
like, how further back can we push this wig? Just keep going. Just
they
keep on going.
spend all of their time and money making, like, here's this fake Bella, you know, for when she's dead. We don't have any more money for wigs. That's
We
it.
lost all the
Rosalie
money.
gets fucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even Carlisle's hair. And what's going on? Like, are they out of toner in the Cullen house? Like, suddenly we got brass out the ass. And it's a lot. Someone call Olaplex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They spent all their money on Bella's hair, which looked fantastic. Don't
Oh,
you think Kristen
absolutely.
Stewart looks the best in this movie?
The outfits are aces.
Yeah.
Especially that
Yeah.
initial, like, the first scene of them. I'm just like, Bella, you've reached your peak outfits right now.
I love
Her-
the little white dress
Yeah.
when she's going to her honeymoon.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
chic, so perfect.
Oh, also that random moment when they stop in Rio to, you know, dance, and Edward thinks this is a good idea for Miss Two Left Feet. Like, and she seems excited about it too. She's like, "Oh yeah, we're dancing."
Bella hates crowds. Come on.
Yeah.
And dancing.
Yeah.
And just-
all of it.
Being around other people that are not.
You said
intimate.
during the movie, you were like, "Well, they had a budget and they wanted to spend it."
Yeah, they spent all of it on that and not the wigs.
And Robert crashing that boat.
And they wanted to
Yeah.
remind you of Jesus before they fucked to make sure, like, hey guys, they waited until marriage.
Hey,
Catch
don't you
that?
fucking forget, Jesus is watching. So.
And this
It was
Yeah.
just this whole that Jay and EJ was actually Jesus.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Edward
It all
Jesus.
Edward Jesus God.
Edward Jesus Christ.
That sounds like when you like stub your toe. Edward Jesus God. I'm gonna start saying that.
And with that, folks, I mean, that's a good wrap on
I
this.
think that's pretty good. Yeah.
All in all, 10 out of 10. Favorite film. Would watch again.
Yes.
I mean, that's good.
Are there
Snubbed at
extended
the
editions of all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, we have to go back. We literally have to go back.
We have to go back to Isle
Yeah. Yeah. So next week, Cody, we have chapters 19, Burning, and chapters 20, New,
Great.
which is basically where, like, the last part of this movie is where,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
which is exciting. So, Cody, do you want to read some of the names of these iTunes reviews that we got?
Sure, if I don't fucking get exhausted.
Oh, well, I mean,
Shouts out to Audrey Swenson.
yay. And Richie Tenenbaum.
And Angelica Monreal. Thank you. Please like gas us up while we're doing this. Thank you so much.
The
And
next one.
Money for Soy.
Okay, mine sounded like Blue's Clues. I'm sorry.
And Glor does stuff.
And Carditas 305.
And that's it.
That's it. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay.
Woo.
Okay. That sounded like ominous.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Okay, so
I just felt like I had to do that once.
for our patrons this week, I thought we could do obscure favorite moments from the movie.
Yes.
So for our $25 patron, we have Rachel Swan, and I was thinking the raspberry yogurt that they put on the baby from the birthing scene to keep it from crying.
It was so
Oh my God.
viscous.
It was just
my
a
God.
lot. Yeah. Okay.
For our $10 patrons, Rachel Black is that really, like, that scene when it's a fake wedding and it's just going around and around and around and nobody's behind them and everyone is cleared and you're just like, that doesn't make any sense. What?
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
We
like
didn't
when
even
they're-
talk about the fake wedding.
Oh.
Like the dream, or like when they're kissing and they're like, nobody's here
Oh,
anymore.
no. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, it's the kissing and then suddenly everyone has vanished. There was someone, like, the officiator
The
is
Departed.
gone. No
No,
one's
they're
there.
they're a fan of like the extremely obvious metaphors. We
Yes.
were saying.
Yeah.
In between the dream wedding and also that moment, like,
Yeah.
yeah, we get it. There's like nobody else here. It's just the two of you.
Next, we have Jessica Stanley. Chris, do you have a favorite obscure moment from this movie?
Ooh, putting him on the spot.
I'm gonna say that I really liked when Sam and Jacob are going at it, and just their very vivid teeth. You know?
And all that saliva.
Yeah, there was a lot.
CGI saliva, my kink.
Oh my God.
Next up is Katie Weber. Rachel, do you have a favorite?
Oh, boy, do I. I would say one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie is just Charlie looking so puzzled at all of those graduation gifts. Just so completely amused and also confused, and every other oozed word that you could say.
Bemused.
It's a good choice.
Okay.
I get you.
It's a good one. All right, next up is Jessica Hale. And I think for this one, I'm going to go with Jessica at the wedding when she's like, oh yeah, this is a really great cake. It's so good. But she's like, I thought it was going to be bigger than this.
All of them at the wedding.
Her backhanded comments the entire time.
Oh yeah, well, and especially when she's even at like the first part of the ceremony when she's like, you don't think that Bella's pregnant? Are you kidding?
Oh.
For M's Yuli, fucking when Bella is literally on her deathbed dying and she is glowing like the gods. Like, she is wet. This woman is wet. It is like she is shining. Any light that is on her is reflecting, and just like, how is your skincare still this good when you're dead? I don't know.
I love Chachi
I
Skin
mean-
Mist.
Literally.
The moral of the story is you gotta drink blood.
That's what we learned today, folks. If you
Yeah,
if you take
that's
away anything
good
from this
skincare.
hour, that's it.
That's a really good point. I'm so excited about this part because I don't have a fan fiction for you today, Cody.
Yeah.
For the first time in over a year, I did not have to prep or look for a fan fiction this week.
Do
Instead,
you feel free?
I do. I feel free. I feel cleansed. I feel like Tom, it doesn't feel concerned about me anymore because I didn't have to look up fan fiction this week. Instead, our fantastic guests have searched for a fan fiction for us instead.
I'm very excited to share this with you all. This is a fever dream of sorts. So, the title of this fan fiction, first of all, is called Waking Up to Love. And the idea, the summary behind it is that when Bella wakes up as a vampire, she is now gay. Like, her vampireness turned her gay, which
Yes.
a vibe that we
You
can all
mean that's
love.
not, real life?
Yeah, don't spoil anything for Cody.
Yeah.
You're right, you're right.
Shit.
Okay.
I still have hope, okay?
You're so right. So let's get started. This is moments after Bella has just woken up.
I'm so excited.
And it's from Bella's perspective, of course. Alice, I say, my voice hoarse with emotion, and she beams, taking a hesitant step towards me. Not willing to wait, I rush into her, my arms wrapping around her waist, lifting her slightly. She laughs in my ear before wrapping her arms around my neck and resting her head against mine. Alice, I thought you were going to see me. Oh no, sweetheart, I'm sorry I wasn't the first to see you like I promised, but I would never ever miss this, she says, a frown pulling at her lips as she caresses my cheek with her hand. Not for the world. She whispers, burying her face into the crook of my neck, the classic crook. I kiss her temple before burying my nose into her hair and inhaling her soothing scent. She smells like lemons and lavender. I melt into her embrace, and she just pulls me tighter against her. You look gorgeous, Bella. You make an absolutely lovely vampire. I chuckle shakily, very Stephanie Meyer, in response, and pull her closely. I don't know how long we stand there, holding each other, but eventually I hear someone clear their throat. Alice goes to pull away, but I tighten my hold on her. No, please don't leave me, I say, suddenly flooded with the need to be next to Alice, to hold her and never let go. Bella, love, come on, you need a hunt. Edward says, that's my word. Gently putting his hand on Alice's shoulder, pulling her back slightly. Rage and possessiveness race through my body, and the only thought in my head is, she's mine. I let go of Alice and have both my hands on either one of Edward's shoulders. My face inches from his in a second. I slam him against the wall, ignoring the crunch and crack of plaster. If you ever touch her again, I will rip your head off. I snarl, meaning every word. I feel Emmett come up behind me and place a hand on my shoulder, but I snap my head around and glare at him. Back off, I growl. That car, also a growl. Don't touch her, I say, pushing him harder against the wall. She is mine. Carlisle, what just happened? I hear Emmett ask behind me, bewildered. I growl at Edward one last time before Alice looks at me with one careful eye. I believe... ... She has claimed Alice as her mate.
Wow.
What?
I just feel like that's how it should go.
Wow.
And I guess we'll all find out. Who wrote this? Well, a very intelligent mind. And it's Cassie116.
When was that written?
This was written in, oh my god, 2017.
Oh my god.
A blessed year.
Wow. And it was just updated this last June.
Oh,
Year of our Lord, 2017.
thank you so
Amazing.
much. God bless.
Wow.
I'm so glad that there are people out here still doing God's work.
Still doing the
It
Lord's
honestly
work.
happens way more often than you think.
You'd be surprised.
This book touches people.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
God.
surprised, but also not at all.
No.
Wow.
Well, I guess, as we say in Forks.
Get bit!
That was so cute. This is an Earbud Media production. You can follow the network on Twitter at Earbud Media. You can also follow this show at Into the Twilight almost everywhere, or check out our Tumblr at intothetwilight.show. Our wonderful artwork is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram. Our music is done by Eli Krause, who you can find at krausefilms.com. The intro and outro is done by KB__Smith on Twitter. You can follow Allie at Into Wild Places, and you can follow me at Dyke Discourse. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye!
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Hey Dan,
Hey, what's up, John?
I just wanted to confirm that we were recording Monday.
Yes.
What are we recording for?
Oh, it's our new podcast.
Our podcast, the Strange Little People one.
Strange
right?
Little People, yeah.
Yeah, the one on Earbud Media Productions.
Mm-hmm. You can find it on YouTube. You can listen to it.
The one that we update every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, dude.
When we have new guests all the time.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Yeah, and we talk about current events and stuff.
People should listen to it, right? Like,
Yeah,
It's something cool.
I think people would like it. I mean, you don't have to, but I hope you would.
Did you put out the ad yet? The flyers?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now, as we speak.
No, you're sitting down. You're
No,
not.
this is happening right now, as we speak.
John, why did my hand just go through you?
Oh my god.
John.
We'll talk about it next week.